Research Methods in Personality Psychology, Part 2, Life Data. Professor Michael Botwin, Department of Psychology, California State University, Fresno. Let's face it, human personality is a complex thing. To study it, we need to use a variety of sources of data that other branches of psychology typically don't use. So over the next 4 short videos, I want to introduce and talk to you about each of the 4 different sources of data we use in personality psychology. And hopefully the file drawers won't drive you too crazy there. Well, the first form of data is life data. And basically, life data is any archival data that exists in a database about someone. And we can look at a variety of different forms of life data. So, for example, life data may be specifically collected over the course of an individual's lifespan as part of a research project. There are many research projects going on right now that have followed individuals for significant chunks of their lifespans. Any data collected for other uses and is done over time also may be used as life data. As a student on the Fresno State campus, your data is being recorded by something called the Office of Institutional Effectiveness. They're in charge of gathering data about the student population of the university, faculty too, and how things work. Now, if you've heard about our recent graduation initiative, and the goal is to push everyone out into 120 units with a degree, that office is tracking your progress through your degree, and if you start getting behind, you might be getting a letter from an administrator saying, you need to finish your degree and get out of here. So school records, what your major is, have you changed majors, your grade point average, how many units you take each semester, how many times you drop classes, how many times you add classes. All of these things go into that file. Credit card records. Any company that you do business with logs the data in a database, which have become very lucrative things for individuals to buy across companies. So if you start spending money on something, you may find that you get solicitations for similar things, and those become part of the record. I just was playing around with Amazon, looking at some stuff, and with Amazon keeps a detailed file of everything that you've purchased, not only so that you can go back and buy stuff again, but so that they can show you things and advertise things to you. When my boys were small, and I'm talking about 2 and 5, little toddler kind of era stuff, they were extremely enamored with Captain Underpants and his adventures. So I bought my kids some Captain Underpants books from Amazon. I still get a notice every single time Amazon gets a new Captain Underpants book. And frankly, we've kind of lost interest in him at this point in time, as my kids are 25 and 28 and have moved past Captain Underpants. Police records, military records, any data about you that goes into a file. It's a massive amount of data now. You can find out information about your lifespan and be used to study your personality. I found this little video clip that I want to show you about something called the Nun Study. It's a longitudinal study that's going on looking at. So here are the nuns, and it's a snowy day here. Let's get this video going. See how they
On a
age
quiet
so well.
hilltop in rural Minnesota stands the convent of the School Sisters of Notre Dame. It might look like a house of rest. Inside, it's anything but. From dusk to dawn, the sisters are active, both physically
29, 30.
and mentally,
China is the most powerful communist nation in the world.
and living very long lives.
These are the names of 28 sisters in this building who are over 90. And you've got 6 sisters who are over 100.
So how is it that these sisters live such long, active, and lucid lives when many people 20, 30, even 40 years younger fall into decline with failing bodies and fading minds? That's a question researcher David Snowden has spent more than a decade trying to answer.
These are, in many ways, super nuns that had probably very good genes, wonderful upbringing, a good, clean, active, giving life.
Sister Esther has been at the convent since she retired 6 years ago at the age of 96.
I'm 102. I'm going to be 103 in December.
Do you feel 102?
Sometimes I feel 200.
Sister Esther is one of the participants in the Nun Study, in which each of the sisters has agreed to donate her brain to research.
When people hear we willed our brains to them, they say, "Ooh, you did?" Well, then what good to us after we die?
The goal is to learn more about how conditions like Alzheimer's disease develop.
Cross-section
In
of
studying dozens of brains, Snowden made a remarkable discovery.
About half the sisters are mentally normal when they die. And what is quite surprising to us is we find a significant number of them have full-blown Alzheimer's disease in their brain, yet are acting normally.
The question is, if so many sisters' brains show evidence of Alzheimer's, why do so few of them have any of the memory loss and physical failings that are characteristic of the disease? The answer may have something to do with how active their minds are, even into old age.
They tell me that if you work puzzles, you can keep your mind active. So I puzzle.
Sister Jane Francis is 95.
Gotta keep thinking.
Oh, I'm young.
87-year-old Sister Clarissa likes to follow baseball.
But I've been a sport fan all my life.
103-year-old Sister Mathia keeps focused by knitting.
If you don't keep your mind on this thing, you might slip one and have trouble later on.
Many of these older sisters have something in common besides longevity. They were teachers with a college education.
We found that the higher educated sisters had a better chance of living to old age, and once they got to old age, the higher educated sisters had better mental and physical function.
Snowden believes that's because the better developed a person's brain is early in life, the better able it is to fight off degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's later on.
Right arm?
Poor mental function obviously is not inevitable. You can see that just by walking around the place.
It may also have to do with the fact that the nuns live in a supportive community and not alone, and they have deep religious faith, both of which have been shown to lower the chances of developing heart disease and stroke. What researchers are wondering is, just how long will these women live?
I might live a little bit longer. Yeah. Depends on what God wants.
Yeah.
What the nuns seem to show is how old your body and mind are doesn't matter. It's how active you have kept them for all of your life. In Mankato, Minnesota, I'm John Roberts for Eye on America.
Well, if there's ever been an incentive to stay active and keep your brain healthy, that's it. So keep your brains going now, and we hopefully won't get Alzheimer's. So take care, and we will see you on the next installment of Personality Psych, where we will talk about observer data. This has been a We Have Couches video production. Copyright 2020. Professor Michael Montwin. All rights reserved. Bye now.